Hello, everybody, fellow star seeds. Raven Willow here again. Today, our podcast is going to be a relatively short one, but very informative. I'm going to talk about working with the deity of Thoth. And most of you, when you hear that name, when you see images, you automatically think of Egypt. So I have a lot of images to show you because he's actually depicted in a lot of different places around the world. So that's very important to know. So we'll go through some of the images a little bit later, but most people can, you picture him with the ibis head or either the baboon's head, and those are very common in Egypt. But Thoth is actually depicted all over the world. He is responsible for building pyramids all over the world. And that includes the Americas, that includes pyramids in China, in Russia, and India. Like there's pyramids literally built in Antarctica. So he is responsible for those places. Those places are places of resonance, of healing, and people can still go in there and hear frequencies and resonances being broadcast and get healing from them. So, just so you're aware, there were pyramids, obviously, where people, kings, and deities were buried, but they are also resonators. So, they were also power stations. They functioned in a lot of different ways. So, Thoth himself, he brought himself into being by language. He is very much known for being the inventor of language as well as other things. So he had the knowledge of all of the things that the Anunnaki had knowledge of, all of the things throughout the universe. He manifested himself into many lives, many avatars, many beings all over the world. He lived for millions of years. He's still living today. His energy transfers into different avatars, different bio bodies, while the other ones rest and heal. So he literally manifested himself into being, which is a very universal, known way of creating life. And when you come in contact with Thoth, when you meditate with him, when you have problems in your life that you need to be solved, he presents himself in different ways to different people based on either how you currently perceive him or past lives that you have lived. I've known Thoth in many lives. So when he presents to me, it's in a lot of different forms, but mostly as the ibis with his rods with the serpents wrapped around them. And he is normally green because I also know very well of he is the librarian, and I will get into that in parts of the world where his emerald tablets are hidden and stored. He left them here so that humans would not lose the enlightenment, so that we would have the knowledge. So he very much wants us to have the knowledge. And he goes by a lot of different names. So in Egypt, he is Jehuti. So that's the one. He's like the ibis. And Hermes is another one that he's well known for. That's in Greek. So when you see pictures of Hermes, you'll see like the common symbol that's used in the medical world with the rod and the snakes that are winding up within it. And he's also known as Jehuti, which is the moon god. So he represents the entire month. He goes by the moon cycle, which is 13 months and not 12. So then you get into very sacred feminine terms, moon calendars. Everything would be 28 days instead of the calendar which we go by now. He's also known as Mahat, um, Lord of Divine Words, and the scribe of Mahat in the company of gods. He is the judge of the two combatant gods. So he functions within the underworld and this world. He goes into the darkness, he goes into the light. He is also associated with the librarian of Sihat, the patron goddess of writing. So when I say that Thoth is the librarian, he is the librarian. He is the librarian of all knowledge, of all time, of all existences. So if you are an Akashic Records reader like I am, you know exactly what that means. So he knows all knowledge of all time, of everything. And he brought a lot of that knowledge into humanity, into humankind. And you can see that the ancient people that built all of these amazingly awesome pyramids and structures and monoliths and things that are very much on power spots of the earth. I really get annoyed when scientists and archaeologists try to act like these people were not sophisticated and didn't have knowledge of physics, didn't have knowledge of frequencies, and that things can be levitated with frequency, and that frequencies can heal. And they were much more advanced than we are, actually. We are quite primitive compared to the ancient peoples of the world. Before the Great Flood happened, Thoth was also part of the Atlantean system. The Atlantean system was very active and it was not a place. The world was actually connected, all of the world, through the Atlantean system. He was a part of that system. So he is an enlightener of people. He wanted people to be out of the bondage that they were in. So he the separations that we still have today in today's societies, like race and separation and inequality, and some people are poor and some people are rich, and the prison systems and the punishment systems and the judicial systems and all of these things that our collective consciousness says that we have to have, and this is how our world works. This is not how our world is actually supposed to work. And we are very much out of tune with the rest of the universe. And that is a big problem. And that's why humanity feels very depressive, why it's very violent, why there's a lot of wars, and why people feel stuck, and why people don't feel joy and those kinds of things in our lives. So the Matrix is a device that we are in, and it runs on a conscious collective, and therefore people are keeping this system alive and working within the Matrix. So he's very much against us, and he wants us to all be enlightened. Um, as you think about Thoth, he is no one and he is everyone, because he lives in very thousands and thousands of different bodies and avatars. So he runs between both worlds of the underworld, of this world, and the universe. He is everywhere. So people that are kept in the 3D world of Earth that don't start the ascension process, they are very much in the darkness, and he wants to bring you out of the darkness. So when you work with Thoth, you get, it depends on what you're going through and what you're asking of him. You, like right now, I'm working with him and I'm literally going through the darkness stage. I've asked him to take me to the underworld, to the darkness stage, to clear a lot of things and to gain focus on things. And when it's presented to me, I'm actually in one of those boats that you see that are built, like King Tut had one in his tomb, the boats of ancient Egypt. And I'm literally just in this darkness, this abyss, and every once in a while images will come to me. It's very silent there. Thoth is very silent. It's a telepathic communication, and he's taking me through this so that I have purposely done this because I have rewritten my soul contract. And so I'm purposely doing this to myself to clear the things that I need to clear and go through the darkness and then come back out into the light. So this is the process that I am experiencing with him right now. So even though it feels like he's running in a very neutral space, he is very caring and a guide and very knowledgeable. And so you're gaining all of those things, even though it feels like everything is silent, everything is black. And this is the path that I have chosen to go down with him. You can choose to go down a different path with him to gain knowledge on something that you have questions about. Like, what is your path in life and how do you get there? And what career choices should you make? And what things do you need to clear from your life? And so it's very purposeful. You cannot deceive him, and he will not allow you to deceive yourself. So, working with Thoth is very beneficial to your energy, to healing your energy or your soul or whatever you want to call it. And there's a lot of talk now about Thoth and the Emerald Tablets. He was a scribe. He did invent language for us. And so there are Emerald Tablets, and there are some that are hidden in the mid-Atlantic rift, sorry, that parts of Atlantis still exist deep, deep, deep in the Atlantic Ocean. There's parts of them there. There are parts of them hidden in the Grand Canyon. There's parts of them hidden in Egypt and the Hall of Amenti, the Great Pyramid, um, different power spots on Earth have different parts of the emerald tablets. So they are our knowledge. They are knowledge of all time and all eternity. They are a part of the Akashic records. So you will get parts of them when you go into the Akashic records and read some of people's Akashic records. Um, so that is his main mission, is to bring mankind back into enlightenment and out of the darkness that we are in. So he is known as all of knowledge, all of language, math, technology, wisdom, magic, and moves in and out of the darkness. So working with Thoth, he can appear as anyone or anything. It depends on what your comfort level is and what you are imagining him as. Some people he's even seen as a small child because that is the comfort level of the person that he's working with is. And his duties, as he's a scribe of the gods, and so he's documented all events of all time so that we can have them. And he's known as the god of knowledge, obviously. He's a mediator, so he will take you through your darkness, which is called shadow work, so that you can get to your light. And he's a patron of scribes, so he's taught humans language, hieroglyphics, even petroglyphs. The the Incas knew him very well. Mesoamericans knew him very well. So he's also a practitioner of magic, alchemy. So he knows powerful spells, powerful incantations. Um, he has control over time. He knows how to manipulate time. Time is linear, and people need to understand that. Time is not just past, present, and whatever the future brings. Whatever your past lives are that your energy has lived, you are still living all of these things all at the same time. Time is interconnected, time is flowing, time is fluid. And he knows how to run and move through time. And humans actually have this knowledge too. It's just been suppressed by the system that we live in. So he's of all wisdom, of all intellect. He can also heal. He can heal on a spiritual level, and he can heal your ailments, your health, provide spiritual healing, provide knowledge. He can work with frequencies, help your body get back in line with the frequency that it should be in. And reasons to work with Thoth so that you enhance your wisdom. So the more wisdom and knowledge that you have, the more you are going to be create on this earth and the more joyous that your life is going to be on this earth. I have to keep telling my cockatoo to shut up because he wants to get involved in this podcast and he's just talking, talking, talking. Um, so you work with Thoth to get on a deeper level of understanding and expansion of your knowledge. So you improve your communication. So it makes it easier for you to articulate your thoughts and your ideas clearly. Very beneficial to writers, to speakers, to scholars. Like I'm constantly studying history, astronomy, astrology, everything in the universe. Like I'm constantly studying. So he's very helpful in those things too. He can give you a lot of spiritual insight to who you are, what you're supposed to be doing, um, navigate your spiritual journey, unlock the gifts that you do have, and magical proficiency. His blessings and enhance your own magical practices. So, offering protection, power, efficiency to do spells or rituals, the gifts that you already have will be enhanced. You will also learn new gifts that you were not aware of. So he's also here to bring balance and harmony to our lives. And I always feel if I am out of balance, one, I'm a Libra, so I definitely feel when there's things out of balance with me and the universe and Earth. Earth is very out of balance right now, so it's definitely totally effing with my life at the moment, how out of balance and violent and things that the earth is. Um, and different signs that Thoth is calling to you or that you should be working with him. You have recurring dreams of Ibis or the baboon or images of him in Egypt. Pay attention to those themes that run in your dreams if you're seeing Thoth. You also have like a sudden interest in him, a newfound passion for learning or writing or studying ancient texts. That can be a sign that Thoth is reaching out to you, that he wants to educate you. Um, Synchronicities, so repeatedly encountering Thoth's symbols, such as the moon, hieroglyphs, sacred animals, is a strong indication that he's trying to get your attention. And intuitive nudges. So you're feeling a strong, like inexplicable pull towards Thoth related practices or sensing his presence during meditations are your daily activities. These are common signs that he's calling to you. And there's also different crystals and symbols that he works with. So you'll obviously see the symbol of like an ibis or a baboon or a serpent. And those are all symbols of Thoth. But he works with moonstones very well. I always have a moonstone ring on this finger. He works with lapis very well and selenite crystal. That is it's a good clarity and spiritual communicator, selenite, and it's also known for cleansing and charging other crystals. Lapis promotes wisdom and truth and spiritual insight. I used to not bond with lapis very well. It has since become a crystal that I can bond with. So get used to seeing the crystals and the symbols and having those around you. A lot of people like to use candles, use white candles when you're working with Thoth. Herbs that he obviously likes are frankincense, myrrh, cinnamon, sage, palo santo. These are all herbs that are very cleansing and very healing and very calming. So, burning incense of any of these things is very helpful when you're working with him. There's also like rosemary, lavender, dandelion, blue lotus. So, things that he likes, like you can also bring comfort and show him that you're giving respect to him for the knowledge that he is giving you. So those things are very important to do. So understanding his preferences can just deepen and enhance the contact that you're having with him. So he likes order, he likes structure, wisdom, learning, and truth and dedication. He likes these attributes in people. So once you start on your ascension journey, he's going to recognize these things and he's going to want to bring them out in you. And things that he does not like ignorance, he doesn't like chaos, he doesn't like dishonesty, and he does not like laziness. So you will not work very well with Thoth if those are the states of mind that you're in. And obviously, people that are on an awakening cycle, you're not stuck in these kinds of things, hopefully. And if you are, he's going to bring the truth to you very bluntly. Like, you will not be deceived by him, and you cannot deceive him, and nor will he allow you to deceive yourself. He's going to show you the truth. So I just call on him. I focus on him and bring him to me because I work with a lot of universal beings and call them to me. So that's what I do. I get myself in a very calm meditative state and I focus on him and I call him by his name, Thoth. I tell him my intention. Like right now, I have told him my intention is literally take me into the underworld. I need to be cleansed. I need to do the shadow work. So that is what he's doing with me. But there are like some prayers that you can say to invoke him and um, one is like, oh, Thoth. I'm going to actually read this so that I don't get it wrong because I don't actually say a prayer or a ritual to bring him. But, O Thoth, scribe of the gods, master of time and keeper of wisdom, guide my hand and heart in the pursuit of knowledge. Illuminate my path with your eternal light. May your wisdom flow through me as I seek to learn and grow. In your name, I dedicate my thoughts and actions. Thoth, Lord of the moon and stars, grant me your insight and clarity. Bless my words and my deeds with your wisdom. May I honor you with every thought and action. O great meditator and healer, help me see the truth and to walk the path of knowledge and light. So I will actually copy this prayer and put it in the description of this podcast because um, when I'm calling on him, I'm not actually saying those words, but I'm feeling all of that. So whether you say it out loud or, whether you just think it as you're calling on him, you just need to be in that particular state of mind. So I'm actually going to share with you just some images of Thoth throughout different parts of the world. I like this one because he's the librarian, and the emerald tablets are hidden and stored all over the world. And parts of them are in the Grand Canyon, parts of them are in the pyramids of Egypt and the pyramids of ancient Mesoamerica, South America, China, Antarctica. All of these power spots have parts of the emerald tablets, and then obviously parts of Atlantis that are hidden deep under sea because Atlantis sank during the Great Flood. So I like this image just because he's the librarian. He knows it all. But these are common images that you will see obviously in Egypt. So the ibis or the baboon, and you see the all seeing eye. And the all seeing eye can actually be broken down into parts of knowledge as well. And you can watch my podcast I did on Nikola Tesla if you want to see the parts of the all seeing eye. And there's the Hermes one that I talked about in ancient Greece. So this is the common sign you'll see for the medical industry now with the rod and staff and the serpents going up it. These are common images in Egypt. He has serpents that wrap up his rods. So he is commonly depicted as a serpent. Serpents are signs of wisdom. You will see them depicted all over the world as parts of wisdom. My cockatoo's really screaming now. These are images of Thoth throughout ancient South America, Mesoamerica. This bottom one is Teotihuacan. So you'll see him as a bird with the serpent. Um, in Aztec and Mayan imagery in stories, you'll hear of the serpent kings. Um, you'll see this one is Incan. There's always a serpent. This is Mayan up here in the right hand corner. So you will see images of Thoth throughout the world depicted in different ways. And normally, if you see the sign of a serpent, Thoth has interacted with those people in some way. And he serpents are known as knowledge, even though, you know, I don't really have a great affinity towards snakes. They scare the living crap out of me. But when I see them in meditation, I know that I'm getting wisdom. So if you want to work with Thoth, you just have to know that you need to go in with pure intentions. You need to have your intentions set. What is it that I need to know? What is it that my body needs to adjust to, that my mind, my knowledge, my energy needs to adjust to? What path do I want to be on? How can I get there? He will take you down these paths and give you that knowledge. And then, like I said, right now, I have a lot of things that need to be cleared that have happened to me. So I have written a new part of my soul contract for this earth, and everything that has happened and everyone that has happened, with the exception of literally maybe two, three people, literally I have eliminated from my life and burnt that chapter to the ground. And I am starting a new chapter. And so I'm trying to find the path to make all of those things that I know that are in this new chapter happen. So that's why I'm going into the underworld with him, because you need to go into the darkness to get to the light. So don't be afraid to go into the darkness with him if that is what is necessary to help clear your life and make it what you want it to be. So working with Thoth is a very amazing, beautiful, like I love to gain knowledge on anything. So I love to work with Thoth. And if you have any questions about doing so, I will have my email listed under this podcast as well. You can write me, you can ask me. I will have that prayer listed in case you want to actually use it to call on him. Make sure that you use the herbs that were talked about, the crystals that were talked about. And when you're going to work with Thoth, just know that you are going to get the hard line, brutal truth, whether you like it or not. It might not be what you intended it to be. It might not be the answers that you thought you were going to get, but you're going to get the answers and the knowledge that you need. And your knowledge is not actually stored in your brain, it is stored in your energy. Your brain is what is working this biotech body that your energy is inhabiting. So when I say that Thoth has created many avatars of himself so that he can, like, I can exit this body, my energy can exit this body, and I can put this body into stasis somewhere in the universe so that it can heal and I can come back into this body at a later time. I know that I can actually do that, but as a human living on this earth, I need to like go back into my previous lives and remember how to do that. So all things are possible working with Thoth. So just understand that and know that you will get pure, true knowledge, and it will definitely clear your life, and help you get to where you want to go. So go there humbly, go there with respect, and you will get everything that you need. So reach out to Thoth, everybody. Please like and subscribe to my channel so that you know every time I do another podcast, another video, because sometimes I have guests, sometimes I do them by myself, but I talk about a lot of different subjects and take my subscribers on a lot of different journeys. So make sure and like and subscribe. I appreciate it very, very much. Everybody have a blessed day, and I will see you again soon.